Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Talk. So first of all, this first part of Let's Talk is just going to be an update for the channel, like the old Let's Talks we used to do, and then we're going to get into a bunch of stuff. It's basically, I'm going to be talking about what happened last time in Let's Talk, and Let's Talks prior to this, and all those things. Also, the Let's Talk we just made, the newest one, there was something wrong with Subbox that week to our notifications and subscriber feeds. We're not really being active that week, so you guys might have missed it. Feel free to not watch it. It's a bit much. We talk about stuff that is a bit much. Let me kill this real quick. Gotta cut my face away from the playback because I'll be distracted because I see movement. It's not because I'm like, ooh, it's just movement, moving on. As of content coming on the channel, I am so happy you guys are taking the Fortnite to not being like, what the fuck? Because that was basically Mass Effect. You guys were massively against Mass Effect, which makes sense. It's not anything like the series that I've seen you guys like on the channel, so it makes sense that reaction to be there. Anywho, I love to tears that you guys also love Fortnite because I am enjoying that so much. We just got past the first level and I have so much to edit, but man is that fun. We left off on a really high note when the series came to an end, so look forward to that, hopefully. I love so many things about that game, and I think how it's gonna work is every chunk. So we just finished the Stonewood and now we're on Plankerton. So Plankerton's a new area, so I think what I'm gonna do is gonna go make videos that are going to be talking about stuff that I wish I would have known when in Stonewood and things that could help you, because a lot of you guys are saying it's complicated and frustrating and stuff like that. So I'm gonna make videos, hopefully, like I did with Let It Die, hopefully help you guys with those things. What else is there? Oh, Let It Die, I just finished a bunch of Fortnite, so I think I have some space that I can make some Let It Die, so I'm going to be jumping on there and trying to do that. I have to stream tomorrow, though. By the time this is getting up to you guys, maybe it's today I'll be streaming Let It Die. I'm also going to be after that, or maybe before that, I'm basically just going to be getting back on Let It Die and trying to make some content for you guys. Don't know what that's going to be. It could be me trying to get a gun or a weapon. Yeah, I usually find out when I'm in there, and I'm like, okay, this is what I can do, because that game is a bit random in what you can do sometimes, based on the rotation of the map and so many things. Anyways, so more Let It Die coming. I thank you for being so patient. I just really was enjoying Fortnite and I wanted to kind of make use, or like kind of show that game is present on my channel, and to like look forward to it. And on the topic of streaming, man, this could be like a part of Let's Talk, like its own Let's Talk series of like dealing with certain ways you feel and etc. But damn, streaming to me, there's some hit or miss times, and it's not that it's like you guys or people in the chat. No, you guys are always fantastic and amazing, and it's truly immensely fun. But to me, I have the perception of like being an entertainer when you are trying to be an entertainer, whereas when it comes to Twitch, a lot of people I think start off as just wanting to play video games and wanting to talk to people while doing it and kind of doing that, whereas when it comes to making videos, I'm almost always 100% into like, I'm here to make you guys laugh, smile, or something. Yes, I'm trying to play the game so that we can progress and people that like that can watch that, but for the most part, I'm also trying to be entertaining to a certain extent. So when you're doing Twitch, and you guys might be able to see this if you watch the Twitch, it's only like, I can only do it for an hour and a half and I'm done, because I'm trying to do stuff in that time span. I'm trying to make jokes, be there, be present, etc. And that's such a weird thing to like lean down on, because like if there's silence, I feel like something's wrong, and that's not exactly great. When it's a Let's Play, it's different, but when there's people watching, it's almost like I feel like I have to be a good host, and that's honestly a big problem with me. Is ever since I can remember, whenever like people came over to my house, or when I had sleepovers when you're younger, whatever, I was like I must have came across as a psycho, because it's like I wanted to entertain and make them have the best time possible, so much so that when they left, I was like, thank God, I don't ever want to do that again, because I was exhausted. Yeah, it's a thing with me. But basically, streaming is great, but I haven't gotten to the point where I found that space, you know, that special zone where you go into where you're like, this is my home, I'm gonna kick some ass. It's not that yet, but it's getting there. It's getting to the point where I feel more and more comfortable, and you guys are making that just that much easier, so thank you so much for that. What else? Let It Die, Fortnite was fantastic, and there's more content coming of that. By the way, you guys are behind on Fortnite. I really need to upload more. Destiny, I got videos coming up for you guys with that, because I prepped some in advance. Oh shit, did you guys hear about the Destiny bullshit? Where, this is old news, but Destiny I'm not sure. I haven't gotten all the information about it, but basically it sounds like Destiny. For PC, they're shutting down the ability for you to record most things, just because some of that software can be used to cheat, but it's not the primary function of that software. Like OBS is mainly just capturing your screen, but there are stream extensions that allow you to like manipulate the game if you're playing a game that allows that. And they want to turn that off, but it's like, what about cheat programs? Like, you're shutting off a thing that has a chance of doing that one thing, and it's not even a high chance that it does that one thing. But yet there's these other things that do that thing. Like, what? So to me, that's bonkers. That's not the way you stop cheaters. The way you stop cheaters is by putting a ban system in the game and having a reporting system in the game. But also, do you need like help with that? Like banning systems go wrong like immensely. There's like times on Xbox or whatever, PS4, that you do well in a video game, like multiplayer in a video game, and you end up being called a cheater or whatever, and your account gets banned. So there's times when you need to have people that like look over stuff and see, okay, well, this person lost in that round. Okay, the other person didn't look like he was, cheating hardcore, didn't have 1,000 kills or etc. There's a lot more that goes into that besides just shutting off a recording software for your screen. Also, Bungie in the past has been exceptionally forthcoming with whole like content creation when it comes to videos. So it's weird. I don't know why they're doing that. Also, little thing that I need to improve on is slowing down. I find I am the most clear and the most when I talk slower. But it is exceptionally hard to do that when you lose your train of thought as much as I do. That's why I usually just shoot up my words so fast, is because oftentimes it takes a second for me to be like, I got off track. God, no. And it's weird because there's certain points in my brain that are absolutely like fire, like immediately, not fire. Like by fire I mean like a gun, like shoot, boom, quick, not like fire like that was tight. But anyways, yeah. But then there's other things that are just like phew, gone, and I'm like, damn it. Oh, and yeah, one more thing. I talked about it in the Fortnite specifically, and this is going to lead us into the Let's Talk therapy portion of Let's Talk. Not just the update. But in Fortnite, I talked about, I'm not sure what video, which one it was. I think it was part 11? Yeah. Where I essentially talked about that I'm not satisfied with the series and the way it was. I think around 5 to 11, to 10, sorry, to 10, I was super disappointed when editing it and everything like that. And I tried to mess around with editing to make it seem a little bit less so, but Fortnite, I was making those videos as if I was just trying to grind, instead of how you should be, in my opinion, trying to be entertaining, and that being your main focus. Now, yes, is that a loaded statement? Entertaining? Yes, it is, but I still was trying to do that. And entertaining can also just be trying. To me, that's a good way of saying it. It's just me making a consistent effort to try to make you smile, try to make you have a better day, try to do something that is a lift me up, maybe just be goofy for a second that takes you away from the seriousness of the game, etc. Let It Die is a perfect example of that. Like, where the stakes are super high and I'm freaking out, so I laugh about it. Things like that. But with Fortnite, I got way too much into the grind portion of the game, and I kind of got detached. Now, I found this happen right around the time that I started making Let's Talks, the therapy idea. And then it's not bad, and Let's Talks are not going to change from being what they now are, which is mostly like a therapy session. But I did find something bad happening from that. Because of Let's Talk in nature being the idea that, again, it's a therapy. It's just me talking about something that I'm not 100% on, but I feel like it's worth talking about and I may have a take on it and etc. And I would love to hear your guys' take on it, so I talk to you guys about it. But in doing those things, you have to disconnect yourself and look at yourself objectively and look at things objectively, which is fine, and it's a great thing to do that. But it's that exact thing right there, that disconnects. And you are disconnecting yourself to evaluate yourself. That's fine. But when you go to make videos, you want the opposite effect. You do not want to be disconnected when making videos. You want to be settled into your personality, into who you are, and just push out, push out, push out. And then in times with Let's Talk, like when you talk about what your community wants, that's the pull in, etc. It's not just pushing. But for the most part, when you're sitting there making a video, it's just push out, push out, push out. And again, I created this disconnect where I was evaluating myself and everything I thought about way too much, to where it kind of got to the point where it was a bit hard to get back into like push out, push out, push. And yeah, that was kind of what I think happened with some of the Destiny videos. Destiny videos I was happy with. I felt like it was limited with that one. But when it comes to the Fortnite videos, I felt like that was kind of it. I felt like I just wasn't really comfortable like being there, which is messed up, because in part 11, that's when I'm like, okay, I feel good about it. I feel like this is right. You know what I mean? And yeah, I can't explain it besides the idea that it, again, like when we talk about things like the last video, it was pretty intense. We talked about the idea of sadness and how, as much as people are afraid of negative emotions, they are exceptionally valuable to understand because they are chaotic and destructive, so you should understand them, whereas a lot of people run from them. And that was the whole subject matter of that video. And then the subject matter of this video is that there's a negative in being so disconnected. And yeah, I just want to let you guys know that was kind of like a byproduct of this video. Am I ever going to stop doing like these big topics or the therapy of Let's Talk? No. To me, Let's Talks are the epitome of the personality on the channel because it's me. Like literally, there's a fucking game there or here, wherever it is. That's it. It's super disconnected otherwise. It's basically just me sitting there talking to you guys. But I do have one thing I wanted to harp on, and it's kind of like the therapy of it. And this idea is the loop. There is this thing I think every single person has, and it's this loop. And this loop can be tied to emotions as well. The loop, in a nutshell, is your everyday thing. Get up, brush your teeth, and you continue and continue and continue. And it kind of feels like you're just doing the same thing mechanically. And as much as it feels like it's maybe a disconnect from emotion, I don't think it is. I think it's a very connected thing with your emotions. So what I mean by that is you don't think too much of it. It's just a routine. It's just a thing you do. But I think there's a lot of emotions tied to that routine. And that brings us into something else. I believe, and I think people can agree with this quite a little bit, is human beings notice negative things way more than anything positive. And usually that's because most of us have pretty amazing things around us, yeah? Like we have, food, we have light, we have family, we have friends to, lean on, things like that. And you might be like, well, I don't have like 3 out of the 4 things you just listed. And it's fine, but that's my point. Is if you did that just now, you just made one odd man out, and you disregarded the happy thing that you do have because of the things you don't. Now that to me is really interesting because I feel like that's a big part of happiness. I feel like every single person notices the bad things because, to use the analogy we used last week, it's an emotion that is hot to cold. It's like a lake that is extremely cold. This lake is negative emotion. Anything bad, something bad happened to you, all these horrible things, you got a traffic ticket, whatever. You got fired, blah, 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 so many bad things in this water. So when you finally dip your toe in it, it's super cold and you feel it. But the sun is happiness. And the sun, you get beaten on it with most of your day and you don't really notice it anymore. And that's the thing, is I feel like that's the key, in my opinion. I don't know anything, but I feel like that's a giant key to happiness. I feel like the key to happiness is knowing things are amazing and things are beautiful and things are fantastic and amazing. And so many people don't recognize they are that. And I believe to my very core that is a part of happiness, and it's so important when it comes to being happy. Is knowing when things are amazing, and it can be the littlest thing. And I know people, that's like an old thing. It's like, be grateful for what you have. That's a constant when they throw at you, but when you're younger. But I feel like it could go even deeper when it could be like instead of being like, man, the lady who got my order was a douchebag or whatever. Instead, realize when you're eating your food that this is amazing and it tastes fantastic and you're happy to have it and all of these things. Because I feel like so many people don't do that. People just immediately latch on to the bad and throw away everything else. And this brings me back to my one theory about the loop, where we're constantly just like, people feel stuck in this endless loop of, I do the same thing every day, everything sucks, I'm super bored, I have no life. When it's you just noticing the bad things. It's you just noticing that, oh man, I didn't do anything this week, or oh man, I just played Friday the 13th way too often, or oh, I just played Destiny way too often, or oh, I just played too much Fortnite, and that's all I did, and you're stuck in this loop, and this loop, and this loop, and this loop. When I think all it takes, and it's, sure, you should throw a wrench in your plan from time to time, but for the most part, it's also about noticing the other beams in your light, like the fact that you I don't know, maybe you have a favorite restaurant you like to go to and eat, boom. Maybe when someone uploads a video you get fucking ecstatic and that's like a win. Take more wins than losses, and that's all based on you and your perception. And I know this because this is why I feel like I'm happy a lot of times, is because a lot of people take far more losses than wins, but that's your choice. It's your choice to deem something to be like a loss or a fail or not good. You can choose to just be like, that wasn't a loss, it just didn't work out. That's it. And you can be like, but hey man, I got to do this, I got to do that. Today I got to talk to this person, today I got to see my family, today I got to eat this awesome meal, today I got to see that video that made me laugh so hard. So like, you recognizing the happiness in your life is something that is a lost art, I find. And fuck, is it not that easy, by the way, just to recognize the things that are nice in your life, but it definitely helps. And it definitely helps you be aware of the good things around you and focus on those good things. And again, last part, we all focused on the idea that you shouldn't push away the bad things, you should understand them. And I think that's important. But for the most part, I definitely think that there is a value in being aware of what's good for you and then taking those in. And then you realize, I'm really happy, I feel good. What happened? Well, it's because you took more wins than losses, and I'm sure it's not that easy. I'm sure you guys have your take on it, and I would love to hear it. And yeah, that's just my bit. It's just my chat with that. I tried to film this last night and just couldn't get across my point at all. I'm happy I just streamed, I filmed some videos, a lot of videos, and I ended with this. So I'm happy my brain was somewhat in flow, so I could get across that point. And yeah, it's funny that whole like cycle of monotony, of boringness, and etc. I think can be amped up if you just realize that there's so many other things that play a part in that cycle. They're awesome and fun and amazing. You just need to open your eyes and look and notice, which, by the way, I have an immensely hard time with. I find it impossible sometimes. It's so easy to notice the cold water. It's so fucking easy, but it's so impossibly hard to just be aware of the sun sometimes. Anyways, anything else? I mean, that was more me preaching, me being like unloading stuff on you guys. I just started my learners, which I know for some of you guys be like, what? Frost, you don't have your learners? Or maybe you guys think I look like a little baby and I'm not 20, which I am 20. But yeah, I never got around to it. Also, I don't know what happened, but like a year back, I used to have a pretty bad learning, I don't know what you call it. Everyone laughs when you say learning disability because it's fucking just doesn't sound believable, but I kind of had that. I did have that. I don't know why I said kind of. Again, I'm trying to diminish what it is, but I had that for a lot of my school experience, so I just couldn't really remember stuff recently. But this last year, when I hit like 18, 19, something around there, I was like, oh, my brain's pretty working better. I can remember things quite well. So I read the book and I remember things. I'm starting to get there. I'm not there yet, ready for my learners. It's not my driver's license, it's my learners. I know I'm really behind. I'm trying to catch up. Story of my fucking life, dude. Trying to catch up. And yeah, there's so many other things that I kind of want to, I have a checklist of stuff I want to do. The car to me is like a big part of it. Like the learners gives me the ability to like go do challenges that I find I have. And it's funny because I could tell you those challenges and you might be like, what? Challenge? Dude, that's easy as shit. But it's not necessarily that they're hard, it's just that I built them up to be hard in my head. Like I've made like them this monster when they're probably not. Like one of the things is me ordering food. Like it could be something as simple as going to McDonald's and being like, can I get a so-and-so? But I'd be like, can I get a fucking ice cream? I'm not gonna grab it by the hands, please, ma'am. I'm so sorry. You didn't even have that thought. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna leave. Like that. I feel like that might be me because again, I've just cranked it up to be this impossible thing. But as I'm growing older, I'm realizing that that's not good. That it's not even that it's not good. It's just honestly, it's mostly for me. Like as much as it's important for like family to be like, hey, you should get out of your room. Hey, you should get out of your comfort zone. Hey, do something outside of your room and YouTube. And I'm like, fair enough. Fair enough, family. But yeah, even though that is the case, for me, I'm very much finding myself right now to being like, I don't like feeling vulnerable. I feel that way too often, and I want to try to minimize that. And I realize that's something you can never get away from but I feel like you can start somewhere. And I feel like I want to start somewhere, and that's, for me, that's stuff like getting my learners, so hopefully I can start to at least drive around, do something else, and just, I don't know, if I can go to the movies by myself. That sounds hella sad, but anyways, also go get food and etc., things like that. Basically just experience fucking life, which is, I know some people can be like, I do that every fucking day. Yeah, I talk to upwards to like 100 some people a day, so our lives differ a little bit. But hey, I hope you're happy. I'm happy for sure, but I just noticed that that's a bad thing. It's a bad habit, to let yourself be like, not vulnerable, but to let yourself think vulnerability is just something that just is it. You can get better at it. You can become less vulnerable, I think, in certain situations. But anyways, guys, that brings us to the end of the video. But yeah, I'm just trying to get out of my comfort zone and to try to experience life, because I feel like I haven't really been doing that well. And it's a bunch of steps that are horrifying, but I'm gonna be trying to do that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, this has been Let's Talk. This has been the cycle, or the circle is what I called it, this loop, talking about how that can, I think, be fixed. Maybe not, maybe so, I don't know. Can be fixed by noticing the good things, because I think as human beings we notice the negative things above the high things, or the good things, the lights, because it's just kind of all around us, and it's just a lot easier to miss. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, my name is Logan Endo Frost. I wish you guys the best of days. Yeah, thank you so much, and bye.